I think it was obviously a federal operation. They said we're going to give a bunch of feminized males. We're going to deploy them. We're going to show these feminized males to Paul. Paul's going to think they're women. And then we're going to use that as the introduction. And we're going to introduce these feminized males to Paul's families. Families where the women have a biological child, of which I am the biological father. He said, Paul's got too many women. So we're going to give these introductions of feminized males. And I think, and they were conspiring, and they as much as the opposition, I call them the coalition of Samuel, because the opposition social network who hates me, they of course love Samuel, who is my older brother from a different father, an evil guy. Now I'm the older brother in terms of aging, the aging that they've caused me. I'm always looking around for stalkers. So Samuel, the coalition of Samuel, said, let's take a whole bunch of feminized males, and they're going to be diversity people of color. And we're going to make it so that Paul is going to get sort of ousted from the Caucasian major race, because he's going to have so many families that are, so many descendants who are people of color, so that it will make it clear. We're going to make it clear that that Paul is a people of color, and he's not white. Even though you can see I've got a little bit of blue, gray eyes, a little bit blue tinted. So they're like Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump. They're all and Emperor Charles in London, and they're all like, we're going to make Paul into a people of color by having Rihanna Fenty and Amber Rose. And when I already had people of color in my social group, I mean, it's not like we were a community of white people only. So then they said we're gonna have wealthy. Well, African Americans love to do this sort of thing. They're like, Paul's one of us. They didn't ask me. It's like, if I was one of them, then they would have not been so jealous of me. The men, okay? The men and the women are two different groups. The men hate the hell out of me. The African American men have always hated me bitterly. But the women, well, some of them admire me. So anyway, and I don't hate the idea of having descendants who are African American, but the culture of the African Americans, the African American men are they're so horrible. They're horrible. So, I just want to get away from them because they make such a scene everywhere they go with their fake history. So, okay, I know some bad things are happening to African American men too. They said Magic Johnson has a disease, a deadly disease, and he still hasn't died after all these years. They tricked Michael Jackson into getting a bad cosmetic surgery, and I guess he was addicted to cocaine and his nose collapsed. He didn't need that one more cosmetic surgery. African American men, they're horrible already, but they also suffer too much. Some of them do, not all of them. I'm just saying some of them suffer too much, but they are already horrible people. Their personality is usually horrible. They're very egotistical. They're just the worst personalities like you can find. Some of the worst personalities you can find anywhere in the world. Americans in general have American men have the worst personalities you can find anywhere in the world. Really malicious, evil people, the men in America. and quite a lot of them African American men. They really broadcast their feeling of they think they're very self-satisfied. They think they're superior. So I'm always looking for the right African American man, not a young one like Rihanna. Fenty's a young man. Amber Rose, well, younger. I was 35 when they were young men. Now I'm 50. They're not young men anymore. But I would still say they're feminized and they have a juvenile personality. Um, uh, yeah, anyway, who's got a terrible personality? Apparently, Michelle Obama is a brutal man. He's a man and he's brutal. And he's a name squatter. He's just a brutal terrorist who's got the name of Michelle. By the way, I know people named Michelle who are a lot better, who are feminine females, real females, not a horrible terrorist name squatter. He should have called himself Michael. He's just a monster. So the African American men are like monsters, like the beasts under your bed. They're just monsters, rapists, and murderers waiting to pop out and kill you. They're brutal, evil, terrorists, rapists, monsters, oppressors, worst men you can find. But the white men in America can be some really horrible. Like if you're looking for a horrible white person, look in America. You're going to find the most horrible white men in America. So I think that Bush and Trump have become like my wives because I think now we're interrelated in their children, their wives and children, their daughters, their wives and children are all fine. But the men themselves, they're like horrible. They have like a African American man's personality. So they're like a narcissist and a terrorist and a rapist and always overestimating themselves. So Trump and Bush are like my wives now, and I think Elon Musk is going to be another one of my wives because his children and his daughters and his granddaughters maybe they'll choose me. They'll say that I'm the most accomplished and most benevolent leader that they could choose to align themselves with. And if they make that choice, enough of them make that choice, they outvote their patriarch, and their patriarch turns into a grandmother. So I think that's happening now. I had a sensation. I thought of George W. Bush's booty hole, and I was jerking off, and I was thinking of his daughter's pregnant with my children. That's what I was thinking of. And his wife, too. I was thinking of her waiting for me. And so then I jerked off, and I felt a lot of satisfaction, like it was like popping a champagne bottle, and then there was a bunch of champagne dribbling out of George Bush's butthole. And that's like Donald Trump, too. That's maybe a little bit X-rated. Well, I'm just saying they're going the route of Bruce Jenner, is what I'm saying. Their butts are full of guilty pleasure. That's my opinion. All right, I guess that's enough for this video.